News station starts with a weather impact alert.
Right now at 6, we are in weather impact alert. We have reduced air quality because of fires in Canada again. Plus today is going to be very hot and humid in every corner of our state. Good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Thanks for starting your day off with us, America Arias.
And I'm Bridget Bureau. We're one more day closer to the weekend, so that's exciting. A nice day out there, but you are noticing that haze still linger, Rachel.
Yeah, the heat is going to crank up today. So is the humidity. You may even notice it this morning. I know, Erica, you had mentioned it. It's not as comfortable out there as it was yesterday at this time. In addition to that, we are watching the poor air quality. We do have an air quality alert across the state. Just checking in now, you can see a couple of those yellows this morning, so that's moderate. I do think we're going to dip into unhealthy for sensitive groups at times today. So people with respiratory problems should limit your time outdoors, very similar to yesterday. Now, the smoke from the wildfires isn't going to be as thick today. You will notice a little bit of haziness in the sky, and we're seeing that here, but it won't take on that deep milky hue like it was yesterday, but it may mute our sun at times. 60 degrees in Hartford, New Haven at 60 right now. We are warmer than this time yesterday, anywhere from 4 to about 11 degrees warmer. We're sitting in the 60s now, and this is really a clear sign of the humidity. The humidity is expected to rise over the course of the day today, and you'll see that here. So we're really going to peak right around lunchtime with hot and humid conditions as our numbers move all the way up to the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. So if kids have field day today, it's going to be mostly dry. Could there be a rogue shower? Sure, but it should be mostly dry. However, you definitely want to stay hydrated over the course of the day today. We're just certainly not used to this heat. 90 degrees for Tallinn, Colchester, 90 southeastern Connecticut, in the lower to middle 80s to right around 90 degrees. We're going to watch for scattered showers and storms to develop for our Friday. It's hit or miss, as well as for our Saturday. We'll have more details on that, so you can better prepare for your weekend coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02, we are following pretty much just our normal stuff here in the 6 o'clock hour. No major delays to tell you about here. So just taking a look at our drive times. Waterbridge, New York is around 64 minutes westbound, 84. We do have road work over in Danbury this morning, so that is likely clearing at this hour. New Haven to New York is 55. Bridget.
All right, Rachel, thank you. 6:02 is your time. Breaking news out of Stratford this morning, where firefighters say there was a serious jet ski crash late last night.
Yeah, FOX61's Glenn Kittle is out there along the Housatonic River. With what we know so far, Glenn, what have you learned?
Yeah, good morning, Erica, Bridget. Like you said, details are limited so far, but what we know is that there was a serious jet ski crash along the Housatonic River somewhere near Stratford at around 11 last night. Now, we have spoken with the Stratford Fire Department, and they don't know how many people were involved in this crash or if anyone was hurt or what led up to the crash. Firefighters told us the Stratford Police Department is investigating this crash, and we've reached out to police and are waiting to hear back. It's important to note that it is illegal to ride a jet ski an hour and a half after sunset in Connecticut. Once again, we're still waiting to learn more. We've reached out to the Stratford Police Department. We're waiting to hear back, and we'll get you those updates as we receive them. But for right now, live in Stratford, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, thanks so much for the update. We'll certainly check back. Well, meantime, a vigil was held in West Hartford for a man who was hit and killed last weekend. The people who attended say this is just the latest in a string of preventable tragedies. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot spoke with people who say the roads there in West Hartford are just too dangerous.
After a car crash claimed the life of 63-year-old Stephen Mendelson at this West Hartford intersection, people are saying enough is enough. Members with the group Bike West Hartford held a vigil Wednesday night honoring him and calling for change.
David Goldfarb, age 80, killed by a driver.
An almost unending list of names, all names of people who have been hit and killed in the town of West Hartford. 63-year-old Stephen Mendelson was the newest name to that list. He died after being hit by a car Sunday evening at the New Britain Avenue and South Main Street intersection. Members of Bike West Hartford held a vigil Wednesday inviting town officials and those who knew him personally.
Stephen Mendelson was one of the holiest men I ever knew in my entire life. He was a fearless advocate at the state legislature just as a citizen activist.
Bike West Hartford volunteer Katie Lance says the intersection where Mendelson was hit is dangerous and something needs to be done to prevent more deaths from happening there.
The town has committed to Vision Zero, which is this idea that you don't take traffic accidents as just something that happens, but instead commit to 0 deaths and 0 serious injuries on our roadways.
The town is working to address the safety issues in town, especially New Britain Avenue, since it's a state road.
We've been working diligently over the past year to implement several strategies throughout town to address road safety.
Mark Walsh has lived in the area for more than 30 years. He's worried the construction of apartment buildings near Blueback Square and the newest Starbucks on South Main Street are to blame for some of the traffic issues in town.
You know, things have gotten worse. We've had many injuries, fatalities, and they incorporated this Vision Zero, but at the same time, they're building high-density housing. There's 1,500 units coming in. So what are 1,500 units going to bring with them? Cars and people. So you can't have it both ways.
Town manager Rick Ledwith says he and the town council are working to identify areas in town where they will propose safety measures like speed and red light cameras. In West Hartford, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
All right, Kay, thank you. 6:06 now. A section of Route 8 is under construction this morning as crews work to repair the Commodore Hall Bridge. It connects Shelton to Derby over the Housatonic River. The state says it had plans to make those repairs in the future, but as Fox 61's Alicia Hercules found out, it had to be sped up after a recent inspection.
CTDOT says inspectors were looking at the bridge in preparation for a future project when they noticed issues with the bridge's structure. CTDOT's Director of Communications, Josh Morgan, says the deterioration was noticed on the gusset plates under the bridge.
Basically, pieces of plate material that are holding some of the support structure together, which is overall component of the bridge, which is supporting the weight of the bridge, plus all the vehicles which are traveling on the bridge.
Once they noticed the deterioration, CTDOT signed an emergency declaration to quickly get contractors to begin work on the project.
What they're actually out doing now this week is they're milling off the pavement about 3 or 4 inches, take some of that weight off the road, and then they'll be able to get underneath the bridge and start doing the repair on these gusset plates.
Morgan says the bridge is safe for travel, but the DOT put a 32-ton weight restriction on the bridge to avoid putting any additional stress on it. The bridge will still be open for travel, but lanes will be closed during different phases of the project. Dylan Witkowski says this section of Route 8 often has a lot of traffic. He thinks the construction could cause long lines on the bridge.
I think summer is when most people have like their travel plans. So like on top of just typical work commute and whatnot, there's going to be a lot more people on the road, especially with holiday weekends, 4th of July. So hopefully they wrap it up quick.
Work on Route 8 North will be performed between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. where one-lane traffic will be maintained. Work on Route 8 southbound will be performed between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. where one-lane traffic will be maintained as well. Chris Masuli says while traffic will be difficult to manage, he's thankful the DOT is being proactive with this repair project.
People are going to get mad about the extended commute, but at the same time, it's good. They're keeping up with things, keeping things maintained properly.
CTDOT says it's too soon to give a time frame as to when the work will be finished, but they expect construction to continue throughout the month of June. In Shelton, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Alicia, thank you. Well, 2 men face charges after Waterbury police say they robbed people during a Facebook marketplace meetup. Officers say they got several reports of people buying items only to be threatened with a gun when they went to pick up the item that they were buying. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson asked police what we should look out for during these meetups.
Police say if you are doing a Facebook marketplace exchange, you should avoid secluded areas like this. Instead, they say you should opt for a well-lit shopping plaza or right here in front of the Waterbury Police Department.
Lieutenant Ryan Bassett says police received numerous reports of robberies from in-person meetups that stem from Facebook Marketplace. The similarities in the crimes led them to arrest 2 men, 22-year-old William Brown and an unnamed 17-year-old. He says Brown had a gun on him that was like the ones described in each robbery. The location was 5th Street, and Lieutenant Bassett says locations like this should be avoided for marketplace meetups. Lakita Jackson's family just moved to Waterbury. She says she uses Facebook Marketplace but never buys anything because of situations like this.
What was unique with these reports is that in each of the incidents, the victims reported that the person buying the items was adamant about meeting in a certain area or location and wouldn't negotiate to meet somewhere else. And the area they wanted to meet in was very desolate, wooded, not a lot of lighting, no cameras.
I feel like that's typical nowadays. Things are happening like this, and you just got to be careful. I do not trust people. You never know what's a scam. I don't give out my information unless I know for sure it's legit.
Lieutenant Bassett said that no one was hurt during these exchanges, and he said that William Brown is also under investigation for other recent local robberies in the area. In Waterbury, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.